That is all accurate. With regard to the motion for intervention in lieu, I know there was conversations in chambers. We would still like to ask the court for an opportunity to grant that for Miss McFarland. I understand that she has she has been eligible for intervention in lieu in the past, and that was terminated back in 2014, about 12 years ago, Your Honor. Since then, for the most part, Miss McFarland has stayed out of trouble. She has a possession case from 2018, a dog license required from 2025, and now this current case. Your Honor, she indicated she has been sober, and this was a relapse, so we would just like to ask the court to grant the intervention in lieu today.
What was the recent involvement with specialty court?
I'm Cleveland Muni, the trial court. Oh, I had driving under suspension. I pulled over and she put me through the drug court, and I did the entire thing. The public defender for Cuyahoga had her sign off because it was during COVID. So it was everything. It was on during a video chat, but it was completed.
Well, why did they put you in drug court for a driving violation?
I honestly don't know. There was no drugs involved at all.
All right.
But it was. I did complete it because that's what was something I had to do.
The record indicates that in November of 14, you were, by Judge Gibson, granted intervention, placed on a 2-year plan. That was November 6th of 14. April 23rd of 15, there was a violation. And intervention was terminated. You were placed on probation, completed probation 2 years later. So for that reason, I'm going to deny the motion for intervention. Ms. Tomazik?
Thank you, Your Honor. With the denial of the intervention, Ms. McFarland does still plan to change her plea today, and if the court would allow, since the pre-sentence report is done, we're prepared to proceed with sentencing as well.
All right. Ms. McFarland, how old are you?
52.
How far did you go through school?
Almost second year of college.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes.
Prior to coming to court, have you taken any drugs or alcohol or any prescription medication in the last 48 hours?
No.
Have you ever been diagnosed with or treated for any mental illness?
No, sir.
Did you get a copy of the indictment in this case?
I have not. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I have.
All right, it's my understanding you're going to plead guilty to count 1, aggravated possession of drugs, of felony 5, and then the remaining counts would be dismissed. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Before I accept your guilty plea, I need to determine that you know and understand the constitutional rights you will be waiving, the consequences of your guilty plea, and the maximum penalty I could give you, and I need to be satisfied that your guilty plea is being made freely, knowingly, and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you some questions. If you don't understand a question, stop me. If you want to talk some more to Ms. Tomazik, let me know, and I'll give you more time. Do you understand that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You understand that?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
You have a constitutional right to have a trial, either to me or to a jury of 12 Lake County citizens. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to a jury trial, all 12 members must agree to a guilty verdict before you can be found guilty. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to trial, the prosecutor will call witnesses to testify against you. Do you understand the prosecutor must prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
After the witnesses are done testifying for the prosecutor, you have the constitutional right to have your lawyer cross-examine the witnesses. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to trial, you have the right to have witnesses come here and testify for you. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If those witnesses refuse to come to court, I'll issue an order called a subpoena to make them testify. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to testify at trial if you want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the constitutional right to not testify at trial if you do not want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you decide not to testify at trial, nobody is permitted to comment on that decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to trial and you're found guilty, you have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your
Are
Honor.
you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you have the constitutional right to have a lawyer represent you in the appeal. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you could not afford to hire a lawyer, one will be provided at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you're entitled to be given a transcript of all the hearings in this case. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you could not afford a copy of those transcripts, they'd be given to you at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty today, you will not have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of these rights?
No, Your Honor.
Do you still want to plead guilty to this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand by pleading guilty, you're fully admitting your guilt to the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand by pleading guilty to this felony, you're voluntarily giving up your freedom for whatever period of time I could sentence you to prison, to jail, or to community control.
Yes, Your Honor.
In count 1, aggravated possession of drugs is a felony 5. It carries a 12-month maximum prison sentence and a $2,500 maximum fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you plead guilty to the forfeiture specification, you're voluntarily giving up any items listed in that specification. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand your guilty plea may result in a driver's license suspension of between 6 months and 5 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand your felony conviction will prevent you from owning or possessing a firearm?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if a prison term is imposed in this case, you might have to serve a period of post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are placed on post-release control and violate any conditions, the parole authority could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If that violation is a new felony, then you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for that violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if that happened, the maximum prison term would be the greater of 12 months or the time left under post-release control. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand if a prison term is imposed, you are eligible for judicial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
I could place you on community control for up to 5 years, but if you violate any conditions, I could send you to prison for 12 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you I would be lenient on you just because you're pleading guilty today?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you what I will sentence you to in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand I don't have to follow the sentencing recommendation of either the prosecutor or your lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to talk to Ms. Tomaszek before pleading guilty today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has she discussed everything about your case and answered all of your questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the advice she has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you been threatened or coerced in any way to plead guilty today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entering your guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Thomas, or Ms. Contour, if the case went to trial, what would the evidence show?
Thank you, Your Honor. The evidence would have shown that on April 17th of 2025, the officers responded to a home in Lake County for a report of an overdose. They did identify the defendant. She was found to have suspected narcotics on her person. Those were sent to the Lake County Crime Lab and confirmed to be methamphetamine, the amount being less than the bulk amount.
All right, Ms. Tomaszek, anything to add to those facts?
Nothing on the facts, Your Honor.
Ms. McFarland, did you hear what Ms. Contour said the facts would show if this case went to trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are those facts true?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your plea to count 1, aggravated possession of drugs, a felony 5?
Guilty.
And what is your plea to the forfeiture specification?
Guilty. Guilty. Sorry. Excuse me.
Your Honor, I reviewed the plea of guilty with Ms. McFarland before coming in the courtroom, and she's prepared to sign. Here, sign here. Today's the 29th. Your Honor, myself and Ms. McFarland have signed the written plea of guilty.
Your Honor, I did witness the defendant as well as Ms. Tomaszek signed the written plea of guilty. I've signed it as well.
All right, Ms. McFarland, is this your signature on the written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want me to accept your written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll accept the written plea of guilty. Defendant was present with Ms. Tomaszek, advised of all of her rights, made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver. She understands the nature of the charge, the consequence of her guilty plea, and the maximum penalty. Find it to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary. Will accept her plea of guilty and find her guilty of count 1, aggravated possession of drugs, a felony 5. Is there any reason not to proceed to sentencing at this time?
No, Your Honor, we're prepared to proceed to sentencing.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'd like to ask the court to give Ms. McFarland an opportunity on community control sanctions. Your Honor, Ms. McFarland does have a little bit of a criminal history. She has successfully completed probation in the past, so she's fairly confident she'd be able to complete probation this time around. Your Honor, at the start of this case, her life was a little bit unstable. She wasn't working. She was living in a hotel. Since then, she has managed to get employment. She works at Party Place. She is working as a manager there. She does have good hours and a good income there. She now has stable housing. She is living with friends in Conneaut. She indicated these friends are a really good environment for her, keep her on track. She has had a period of time where she was sober, Your Honor. She said she's had a few relapses in between. So Ms. McFarland and I discussed her possibly doing an intensive outpatient or some sort of program to help her make sure she has the correct steps to ensure she does not relapse again. Her husband is back to work, so her life is a lot more stable, Your Honor. Work has been wonderful for her. She's been in a great environment with work. She also does try to attend AA meetings any chance she gets. She does go to Night and Day in Willoughby. So, Your Honor, she's taking her sobriety very seriously. She understands that she may need a little bit more help, so she's willing to do any sort of treatment required. As indicated, her and I have discussed starting an intensive outpatient treatment program, and it's something she's very interested in. So we just like to ask the court for an opportunity to place Ms. McFarland on community control. Thank you.
All right, Ms. McFarland, what do you want to tell me before I sentence you?
Ms. Tomaszek's correct in everything she said. My husband had lost his job. I lost my job. We were living in a hotel for a period of time. Since then, the people, they're my family. My family that put up my bond is who we're living with. We don't have to pay rent. We don't have to pay any utilities. My husband's back to work. I bought a car, nice car. I'm a store manager. I work 44 hours a week on salary. It's my store. I finally got a store that's my own. My husband's back to work. This is our turning point to excel. They're giving us the opportunity to excel, and I'm taking every opportunity to grab that and do whatever I can to succeed. Like I said, it's a family-owned party. It's called Party Place. I drive an hour to and from each day, and it's wonderful. I don't care. I always said that I would never drive, an hour for a job, but for them to give me an opportunity with the background I had and give me a store is just, I don't want to go backwards. I don't know what else.
How long have you been working there?
I just started, so my second, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we had some training. So.
So, Ms. Tomaszek said you had a few relapses. When were relapses?
Before 2008, years ago back, when I was around probation.
Okay, so
2014, 15, something like that.
So you got off of probation in 18.
Yeah, I had a little rough start at the beginning.
So you telling me you hadn't used since 18?
Yes,
Until when?
this incident.
So how did you manage not to use for that 7-year time period?
Going to meetings and just keep driving forward to what I want, you know, what I should have, you know, my family and what we should have in it, and that's what I'm doing now. I had some,
So why the relapse in April of '25?
I put myself in the wrong position.
What position were you in?
I dropped this girl out that worked with us, and I put myself in a position that I should not have, and I should have known better, and I messed up, and I take full responsibility for what I did. It has ruined a lot of things in my life, and I'm not that person. I'm not. I am so much more, and I deserve so much more, and I'm getting those things finally. I just can't go backwards. I don't know what else to say.
So what were you doing different in those 7 years that kept you away from the drugs?
Didn't go hang out with anyone. I went home after work like I should. And I am now. My family, or friends, if you want to call them, where I'm staying is who's put up my bond. So I'm in a very good, you know, family-oriented environment. There's 3 young children. They call me Nana, which I don't like because I'm grandmother, but I help take care of them. It's just, it's a blessing. I mean, it really
All right,
is.
but if you managed to go 7 years without using drugs, and then all of a sudden you were in a situation, did you recognize the situation before you got into it?
Yes, but that was, things were going south, and I instead of talking to my sponsor, I did the opposite, and that'll never happen again.
Well, did you expect it was going to happen that time?
No, but like I said, I do take responsibility for what I did, and I made a mistake.
I'm not worried about taking responsibility.
I made
I'm
a
worried about the next time you're in a situation that
There
you
won't
were
be a
in
next
after
time.
7 years of not using drugs, all of a sudden using drugs again.
There won't be a next time. I can't have that. I can't have it.
So what precautions are you going to take so that there is not a next time?
Go to more meetings, talk to my sponsor a lot more. I started talking to her because like I said, I have an hour drive to and from work. I started talking to her more while I was driving. I know it's not, everyone's thing, but I did online treatment. I was talking to, not treatment, but I guess I was talking to an advisor on top of my sponsor, and I said I shamed myself, I shamed my family, and I can't do it anymore. I'm too old. I don't want to. I want what I have. I finally said I'm happy. I have my family. I have, I bought a nice new car. I have a nice job that I can be proud of. People that believe in me. And I believe in myself once again.
How many people work at that store?
22, 23.
Where is it?
Mayfield Road, right across from Mayfield Police Station, by diagonal from the DMV. It's the only party place store around. All the other ones closed down. Never knew how many balloons are probably up in the sky right now.
How many meetings do you go to a week?
The last couple weeks I've been going to 2. I usually try to go to 3, possibly 4 if I can. Sometimes I'll do like a double on Sundays, which now I am permanently off on Sundays. I'm store manager, so I gave myself off on Sundays.
How long have you had the same sponsor?
Since, since I got back from NeoCap, I think maybe 2017.
Have you ever had a mental health evaluation?
I don't believe I have.
Now, you've used, what kind of drugs in the past?
It was heroin in the past.
How did you get started on the heroin?
I was on Suboxone, and the doctor that prescribed me, instead of taper me off, I was on it for several years and never tapered down, never altered my prescription whatsoever. He transferred to Akron Hospital. I couldn't get there one day, and I was sick, and I did it.
Why were you on Suboxone?
Because I was taking pain pills, and he put me on this Suboxone, and
Were those prescription pain pills?
yes. And that's why
What was it for?
It was for my back. My spine sticks out. I've never taken anything since. I'm hard-headed, unfortunately, and I understand, and I'm just in a good place finally. I don't want to ruin it.
All right, Ms. Contour.
Your Honor, the state would recommend community control sanctions at this time.
All right, I reviewed the pre-sentence report and the intervention evaluation. Considered what Ms. McFarland has said, what counsel has said. I'm going to place you on community control for 2 years, 8 days in jail with credit for 8.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No drugs or alcohol,
Correct.
with screens. I want you to get a mental health evaluation and follow any recommendations.
Yes, Your Honor.
Get a drug and alcohol evaluation, follow recommendations. Attend at least 2 AA meetings a week and get a sponsor. Maintain the sponsor. Maintain full employment. Go to only 1 doctor, 1 dentist, and 1 pharmacy for medication if you're prescribed. Take your medication only as it's prescribed. If that's applicable, sign releases and pay the costs and supervision fees. Ms. Henley, any other terms?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You understand the terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you don't comply with the terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If it finds you violated, then you face potentially 12 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
The remaining charges are dismissed and the bond is released. Anything else, Ms. Contour?
Your Honor, the forfeiture is ordered.
Forfeited?
Thank you, nothing further.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. Good luck, Ms. McFarland.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Get the drugs back.
Oh.
Yep, that's all it is.
Oh, yes.
The drugs, any instruments, you're not getting any of it back.
She'll have to come over to probation to be put on the rules, okay? And probably take a minute, come right over.
Right now?
Yeah, because whoever's gonna be working with you will have to, Connie has an issue with County, right?